I am RC Robbin. Please like the video, please subscribe to the channel. This is the last game before the All-Star break. It's game number 97 of 162 game regular season created franchise on MLB The Show 20 for PlayStation 4. Let's kick this off. Lots of stuff. I hit, I pitch, I field. I do not run the bases. I let the computer run the bases for me. And difficulty setting is set to All-Star. Obviously, I do play-by-play. Again, this is the last game before the All-Star break. The Home Run Derby is tomorrow. Welcome to Avengers Baseball, live from Oracle Park here in San Francisco, California. The Hollywood Avengers visit the San Francisco Giants. On the mound for the Giants is Brian Abreu making a spot start. He's a bullpen guy. First start of the season, he's 1-1 with a 7.17 earned run average. And leading off for the Hollywood Avengers is Anthony Mackie, 314, 13 homers, 53 runs batted in. He plays Sam Wilson or Captain America in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Here comes the first pitch of the ball game. Slices it to left, but right there is the outfielder. Eloy Jimenez makes the catch, one away. Starting lineup for the Avengers: Anthony Mackie's at short, Tom Holland's at second, Chris Evans is behind home plate. The designated hitter is Mark Ruffalo. Robert Downey Jr. is at first, Chadwick Boseman's at third, Dave Bautista's in right, Sebastian Stan is in left, and batting ninth and playing center field, Don Cheadle. Tom Holland, leading the National League with a .373 batting average, steps to the plate, one out here in the top of the first. Pitches outside, ball one. Mr. Dylan, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for watching Avengers Baseball. I appreciate your presence. Count is 1 ball and no strikes. Out in front of the changeup, count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Tom Holland plays Spider-Man in the MCU. He's not the only man to play Spider-Man, but I like him the best. Fastball outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Called a strike, down and in. Count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. 67 degrees and overcast here in San Francisco. Again, this is the final game of the first half in this regular season. Tomorrow is the Home Run Derby. The day after that is the All-Star game. Pitch is high. Count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. On deck, the first Avenger, Captain America. Well, the original Captain America, Chris Evans. And it's a 1-out walk. Tom Holland is at first base runner of the game. So Chris Evans, 318, 11 homers, 45 runs batted in. The switch hitter batting from the left side against the righty Abreu. Pitch out, but nothing doing. Spider-Man has 19 stolen bases on the season. Big lead at first. Line drive to the shortstop. Cal Ripken Jr. makes the catch, 2 away. My day basically just started. I just had a few errands I needed to run. I'm off today. Thank you, Mr. Dylan, for asking. I appreciate it. Next up is the Incredible Hulk, Mark Ruffalo, hitting .342. A team-high 22 homers, 81 RBIs. He carries an 8-game hitting streak into this contest. 2 outs, runner at first. Top of the first, no score. And he hits it off the end of the bat, skies it to left, and the side is retired. Half inning played here at Oracle Park. Avengers nothing, San Francisco coming to bat. This is Avengers Baseball. Well, yeah, it is. It's noontime here on the East Coast of the United States, and I know, Dylan, you're from South Africa. Welcome to the stream. So Black Widow is pitching today. Scarlett Johansson is making her 11th start of the season. Her record is 4-2 with a 3.52 earned run average. I would make her look more like Scarlett Johansson, but the creative player function doesn't tolerate much. That's the best I can do. It looks basically like her cousin or something. Leading off for the Giants, Tony Gwynn, 292, 5 homers on the season. Here comes first pitch from Scarlett. Grounder to second. Holland fields, fires. and there's one away. Lineup for the Giants: Tony Gwynn leads off, plays right field. Chipper Jones at third, Jimmy Fox at first, Cal Ripken Jr. at short, Brett Boone's at second. The left fielder is Eloy Jimenez. Designated hitter is Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Center fielder is Shane Victorino, and batting ninth and playing catcher, Shea Langoliers. Chipper Jones, 335, 14 homers, 44 RBIs, steps up to the plate. He's a Hall of Famer, played for the Atlanta Braves in real life. Swings at the first pitch and skies it to shallow center. There is Spider-Man 2 away. Next up, first baseman Jimmy Fox, 319, 27 homers, 72 runs batted in. 2 outs, bases empty, no score here in the first inning. Fastball outside corner, strike one. Jimmy Fox is another Hall of Famer, legendary player. I do not remember what team he plays for. I know he's from like the 1950s. Out in front of the changeup, swinging and missed. 2 quick strikes on Fox. Count is 0-2. So the Hollywood Avengers have 64 wins. They were placed in the National League West. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Side retired. 1-2-3 inning for Black Widow. And at the end of 1, no score. Leading off the top of the second, Robert Downey Jr., 278, 13 homers, 53 RBIs. He plays Tony Stark in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yanks the fastball foul down the right field line for strike 1. Iron Man is the man who started it all in the MCU. Just gets a piece of the changeup. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Line drive over the head of the first baseman, heading down the right field line. It bounces off the wall. Quick carom to the right fielder. Throw is in time. No, he's called him safe. 15th double of the season for Robert Downey Jr. I need to see that replay. I thought he was out. Hard line drive out of reach of Jimmy Fox. Didn't hesitate rounding first. Let's look at the throw in. The ball beats him. Okay, so he gets his foot in there. So again, I was wrong. The umpire was right. Next up is the late, great Chadwick Boseman, hitting .355. 13 homers, 51 RBIs. Runner at first, nobody out. In scoring position for Black Panther. Fouls off the slider, strike 1. I say late and great for Chadwick Boseman because unfortunately in real life we lost him to colon cancer in the year 2020. May he rest in peace. High, 1 ball and 1 strike. Tony Stark leads off second. Nobody out here in the top of the second inning. High, 2 balls and 1 strike. Just gets a piece of the fastball, 93 on the radar gun. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Outside, full count, 3-2. On deck is Drax the Destroyer, Dave Bautista. Here comes the full count pitch from Abreu. Skies it to right, fairly deep, but playable. Tagging from second, going to third is Robert Downey Jr. So it's a productive out. There'll be a runner at third base with less than 2 outs. Defensive alignment for the Giants in the outfield from left to right. We have Eloy Jimenez, Shane Victorino, and Tony Gwynn. And in the infield, Chipper Jones, Cal Ripken Jr., Brett Boone, Jimmy Fox, and Shea Langoliers behind home plate. Next up is Dave Bautista, 322, 11 homers, 49 RBIs. He's got a runner at third and only 1 out. Fastball misses outside, ball 1. Dave plays Drax the Destroyer in the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. And he pulls the fastball foul. Count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner at third, 1 down, top of the second, no score. Out in front of the slider, swinging and miss, count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Strike 3 called. Thought it was high. Called the strike. 2 away. He does not get the runner home. It was above the belt, but, I mean, you can't take a pitch that's close with 2 strikes. You got to at least foul it off. Next up is Sebastian Stan, the Winter Soldier, 296, 7 homers, 27 RBIs. Breaking ball inside, ball 1. Now, with 2 outs, he's going to need a hit to get that runner in from third. Inside corner with the slider, count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Sebastian Stan plays Bucky Barnes, or the Winter Soldier in the MCU. Pops it up. Foul territory. Is it playable? No, it's dropped it. So the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tough play for Shea Langoliers near the dugout. Could not make the catch. That's a line drive, but right at Tony Gwynn to retire the side. So they strand the runner at third after an inning and a half of baseball here in Oracle Park. Still no score. So we go to the bottom of the second. Up steps Cal Ripken Jr., 268, 19 homers, 67 runs batted in. Plays shortstop. In real life, he played shortstop for the Baltimore Orioles. Grounder to third, fielded by Black Panther, and there's 1 away. Defensive alignment for the Avengers in the outfield from left to right. You have Sebastian Stan, Don Cheadle, and Dave Bautista. And in the infield, Chadwick Boseman, Anthony Mackie, Tom Holland, Robert Downey Jr., with Chris Evans behind home plate. The Hollywood Avengers lead the National League in fielding percentage. Next up, Brett Boone, 282, 26 homers, 68 RBIs. Here comes the pitch from Scarlett. Swing and a miss, strike 1. The Avengers are 64 and 32. That's good for first place in the National League West. The Avengers have taken the place of the San Diego Padres in the West. They have a 2-game lead over the Los Angeles Dodgers. Line drive, foul ball. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Brett Boone played for the Seattle Mariners in real life in the 1990s. Ground ball, routine play for T'Challa. Black Panther throws to first in time, 2 away. 2 down, up steps the left fielder Eloy Jimenez, hitting 258. He has 15 homers and 48 runs batted in. Fouls it back, strike 1. Out in front of the changeup, 2 quick strikes. Scarlett looks like she took her A game from the bullpen out onto the mound today. Misses inside with the changeup, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fouls off the knuckler. Jams him, short right field. It is a fair ball, and it bounces into the seats for a ground rule double. Number 15 for Jimenez. That'll put a runner in scoring position with 2 out here in the bottom of the second. Just inside that chalk line, and then into the seats. Bautista really didn't have a chance. Next up is the designated hitter, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., hitting 274, 20 homers, 61 runs batted in. Fastball low and outside, ball 1. Makes you wonder, did I jinx Black Panther? Check that. Did I jinx Black Widow? In there, strike 1, count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Out in front of the slider, misses, count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Strike 3 called. He took the knuckler, called for strike 3, then the side is retired. So no runs, 1 hit. One left on at the end of 2 innings of play. Still no score. This is Avengers Baseball. Leading off the top of the third, Don Cheadle, War Machine, 309, 9 homers, 51 runs batted in. Another switch hitter in this very versatile lineup. Hitting from the left side against the righty, Bryan Abreu. That ball is high. It is far. That ball is gonzo. That's a solo home run for Don Cheadle, number 10 on the season. He's War Machine. And the Avengers jump out to a 1-0 lead here in the top of the third. I was about to say Bryan Abreu in his spot start from the bullpen is doing a good job. And yes, he's still doing a good job, but, you know. Here's the replay. Boom. McCovey Cove. Did it ploop? Let's see. Are they going to show it? 384 projected. Next up, the lineup turns over for Anthony Mackie, who's 0 for 1. Fastball outside, ball 1. Anthony Mackie plays Sam Wilson. He is the new Captain America in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Count is 1 ball and no strikes. And he grounds it. Nice play. Wait, no, he's too fast. Abreu tried to get over there to cover, and Mackie cut the check. He just made it to first, beat him out. I'll say they'll call it an infield single. So runner at first, still nobody out here in the top of the third. Next up, Tom Holland. 373 average. And it's going to go up as that ball dunks into center field for a base hit. That's 3 straight hits. 3 straight hits for the Avengers here at the top of the third before a single out is recorded. Chris Evans lined out in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. 2 runners on, nobody out. Already a 1-0 lead for the MCU. Fastball high, ball 1. So he pitched 2 shutout innings, as you could come to expect from a bullpen guy. Now 3rd inning of work, and he's starting to get knocked around. But this one is playable. Skied to right center field. Gwynn makes the catch for the first out. Next up, the Incredible Hulk, Mark Ruffalo, who's 0 for 1. Flew out in the first. Runners lead off first and second. Comes the pitch from Abreu. High and outside, ball 1. Down and in, 2 balls and no strikes. Ed Norton was the first man to play the Incredible Hulk in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The movie universe, that is. Pitches outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Will he have the green light on 3-0? No, he will not, because I don't swing on 3-0 counts. I take pitch as a matter of principle. Outside, ball 4, and the bases are now loaded with Avengers here in the top of the third. 1 run has already crossed the plate. Up next, Robert Downey Jr., who already has a solo home. No, check that, a double. He's 4 for 10 in this series. Bases are loaded, 1 out. Here comes a pitch from Abreu. That ball is high. It is far. That ball is gonzo, and that is a grand slam home run for Iron Man. He is Iron Man, number 14 on the season, and the Avengers now lead 5-0. Oh yeah! Grand salame. There's the replay. Bang! Boom! Did it hit off the pole? Is that why it knocked back onto the field? I think it hit off the pole. So, 5-0 lead here in the top of the third. Chadwick Boseman's 0 for 1. And I think they went an inning too long with Bryan Abreu. Fastball high, ball 1. In case you're wondering, I always like to, once a game, show the difficulty options. Option, gameplay. Hitting difficulty is set to All-Star, as you can see. Pitching difficulty set to All-Star. So 5-run third. 1 out here in the top of the third. Low, 2 balls and no strikes. And when will the manager of the Giants come and get Abreu? I mean, he's just leaving him out there to dry. Leaving him out there dry. Line drive to center. That ball is off the heel of his glove. He's rounding first, heading to second to throw in. Not in time. It's a 1-out double. Double number 20 for Black Panther on the season. Almost made a brilliant diving catch, but just, boom, hits off the heel of the glove. And Chadwick takes advantage and goes to second. And the manager has finally seen enough. Too little, too late. Out of the bullpen for the Giants is Cooper Casad, making his 24th appearance. He's 3-0 with a 6.59 earned run average. Very high ERA. So Drax the Destroyer Dave Bautista is up. Runner in scoring position at second. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And he pulls the 2-seam fastball foul for strike 1. Big lead at second. Slider, or curveball better yet, is inside. Count as 1 ball and 1 strike to Bautista. Bautista is a former WWE professional wrestler. Became an actor. That's a deep drive. It's got a chance. But catches it in front of the warning track for out number 2. Hit it right on the nose, but didn't quite get underneath it enough. Eloy Jimenez makes the catch. 2 away. Next up, Sebastian Stan. He lined out in the second. He's 0 for 1. He's 0 for 5 in this series. Fastball outside and low, ball 1. Checks his swing, pitches inside, 2 balls and no strikes. That ball is deep. It's got a chance. But again, Eloy Jimenez makes the running catch on the warning track to retire the side. But the Avengers score 5 times. And after 2.5 innings of play here in the final game before the All-Star break, the Avengers lead 5-0. So we go to the, bottom of the third? Up steps the center fielder Shane Victorino. He's hitting .325 on the season. Comes the pitch from Black Widow. Misses inside and low, ball 1. Jams him inside, count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike. So the big hit of the day is Robert Downey Jr. had a grand slam home run in the third. Fouls off the slider, count as 1 ball and 2 strikes to Shane Victorino. Shane played in the early 2000s, played center field for the Philadelphia Phillies. He may have played elsewhere, but that's where I remember him playing. That's a line drive, foul ball. Count remains 1-2. Misses low, count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Grounder to second. Holland fields, fires, got it. And there's 1 away. So the National League West standings as we approach the All-Star break. As you can see, the Los Angeles Dodgers are 2 games back after today. They may be 2.5 back. Avengers have a 5-0 lead. And San Francisco is 16 back. 500 ball club. The number 9 hitter, Shea Langoliers, steps to the plate. .231, 7 homers on the season. Here comes the pitch. 1 out. Base is empty. Fastball in there. Strike 1.
0-1.
Change up low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss out in front of the changeup. Count as 1-2 on Langoliers. And it's a jam shot, but finds its way into center field for a 1-out single. And the Giants have a base runner here in the bottom of the third. Here's the replay.
The right fielder, number 19, Tony Gwynn.
So the leadoff man steps up again for the San Francisco Giants. Tony Gwynn is 0 for 1. Slices it down the left field line, foul ball, strike one. Tony Gwynn is a Hall of Fame outfielder. He played for the San Diego Padres. Had like a .330 career batting average. He was a hit machine. Won many batting titles. Slider inside, count as 1 ball and 1 strike. Tony Gwynn, I remember him being a little bit heavier around the middle. They're being very generous with this thin frame. And he pops him up. Short right field. Spider-Man makes the catch, 2 away.
Now batting.
2 down, runner at first. Up steps Chipper Jones. Popped out in the first inning. Fouls off the fastball, strike one. Chipper Jones tortured the New York Mets in the National League East for many, many years. I'm a New Yorker, so I remember this. Not a New York Met fan, but anyway, Chipper Jones out in front with a breaking ball. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. That's a jam shot, and it is caught. Nice catch by shoestring catch by Drax the Destroyer to retire the side. At the end of 3, it's a 5-0 lead for the Hollywood Avengers. So we go to the top of the 4th. Don Cheadle had a solo homer in his last at-bat. Steps up to lead off. Cooper Casad is still out there. Curveball inside, ball 1. And he chases a pitch, pops it up, and it's out of play for strike 1. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike to James Rhodes. Terrence Howard played James Rhodes first. And he yanks it down the right field line, foul. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Terrence Howard played James Rhodes in the first Iron Man film back in 2008. And after that, pitches low, count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. After that, Don Cheadle took over the job. And I like him better as James Rhodes, so everything happens for a reason. He's lazy fly ball to center. Victorino is there. He makes the catch, 1 away. The line for Brian Abreu, 2 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs. Again, he had 2 shutout innings and then gave up a 5 spot on the 3rd, including a grand slam by Robert Downey Jr. Next up, Anthony Mackie was 1 for 2 with a single. Two-seam fastballs outside, ball 1. Little late on the high fastball. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike to Mackie. Outside and high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Anthony Mackie played Falcon. Now he's the new Captain America in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Good morning, Mr. Outlander. I know it's early for you on the West Coast. Swing and a miss. The high changeup. Count evens 2 balls, 2 strikes. Coffee and baseball. Time to go. Oh, he swung and missed out in front of the breaking ball. Struck him out swinging. And there's 2 away. You missed a grand slam home run from Robert Downey Jr. in the 3rd inning. Next up, Tommy Holland. Spider-Man, he singled, scored a run in his first at-bat. 2 outs, bases empty here in the top of the 4th. Line drive, base hit to left. That's his 2nd hit of the game. He leads the National League in hitting. He's going for 2nd, and that was ill-advised. The side is retired. He hit a single, tried to leg it out for a double, got greedy, and got thrown out. So after 3.5, the Avengers still lead 5-0. This is Avengers Baseball. So we go to the bottom of the fourth. Jimmy Fox, the first baseman, struck out in his first at-bat. Scarlett Johansson has a 5-0 lead. Grounder to short. Mackey cut the check. There's one away. Next up with one away, Cal Ripken Jr. Grounded out in the second. He's 0 for 1. In there, strike one. And he waited on that knuckleball and put it in the seats. That's a home run solo shot for Cal Ripken Jr. That's home run number 20 on the season for their Iron Man. I mean, our Iron Man is Robert Downey Jr., but Cal Ripken Jr. is also known as the Iron Man in baseball. He played 2,632 consecutive games in the 1990s for the Baltimore Orioles. So it's 5-1 Avengers. Here's the replay. Yeah, he squared that up. Oof. So still one away here in the bottom of the fourth. Brett Boone, the second baseman, steps up to the plate. He is 0 for 1. Fastball outside corner, strike one. So this is the last game before the All-Star break. The next game I play will be the Home Run Derby, and then the All-Star game, and then we begin the second half of the baseball season. Game number 97 of 162 plus, and I say plus because I'm hoping to make the playoffs and win the World Series. Presently, fouls it off, count as no balls and 2 strikes to Boone. Presently, the Avengers are 2 games ahead in the National League West in front of the Los Angeles Dodgers. So we'll see what happens as the season progresses. A lot of baseball left to play. Just gets a piece of that knuckler. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Strikes him out. There's 2 away. Inside, 2-seam fastball. Scarlett's 3rd strikeout of the game. Inside part of the plate. Down and in. So 2 down. Eloy Jimenez, the left fielder, steps up. He had a double in the second inning. Here comes the pitch. Pops it upstairs behind home plate. Strike one. So MCU leads 5-1 here in the fourth. They've split the first 2 games of this 3-game series. Strike 2, count as 0-2 on Eloy. So they're 1 game apiece, so this is the rubber match. To see who wins the series. I choked him up inside again, just like Boone. Tied him up in knots, struck him out, but home run by Cal Ripken Jr. at the end of 4. The Avengers 5, the Giants 1.
Your attention, please.
Taking over in relief is Nick Whitgren, making his 46th appearance out of the bullpen for the San Francisco Giants. It's 4-4 with a 4.83 earned run average. And leading off is the original Captain America, Chris Evans, who's 0 for 2. Steve Rogers in the Marlins Cinematic Universe. And that's a line drive. Base hit to right, he's 1 for 3. Leadoff single here in the top of the 5th for the Avengers. Next up, Mark Ruffalo. He walked, scored a run officially. He is 0 for 1. Swing and a miss at the high slider. Strike 1. Mark leads the ball club in both homers and RBIs. He has 22 homers and 81 RBIs. Way out in front, gets away off to second. To throw to second, it's not in time. So is it a wild pitch or a pass ball? It's a wild pitch. So wild pitch, Evans gets into scoring position. So runner in scoring position for the Incredible Hulk, but the count is 0-2. Pops it upstairs behind home plate, and the at-bat will continue. Just gets a piece to stay alive. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. He'd make a good argument, Mark Ruffalo, high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. A good argument for the MVP of the first half of the season. The other candidate would be Tom Holland, Spider-Man, who his hitting over 370. Did he check it? No, he did not. He struck him out. There's one away. Couldn't hold up. So next up is Robert Downey Jr. 2 for 2 in his last at-bat. He hit a solo home run. Check that. Did I say solo? I meant grand slam home run. Responsible for 4 out of the 5 runs on the board for the MCU. Fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. He's hitting 333 with runners in scoring position. That's about 40 points above his regular season average. Runner at second. Low. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. No advance. Again, Evans leads off second. Swing and a miss. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Whitgren on the mound looks sharp. Low in the dirt, gets away. He goes to third. So 2 wild pitches from Whitgren turns it basically in for a single into a triple. Runner at third, less than 2 outs. And now Robert Downey Jr. doesn't even need a hit to get him in. Let's see what happens. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But he strikes him out. And there's 2 away. He doesn't get the run home. So strikes out 2 batters in a row, throws 2 wild pitches. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Next up, Chadwick Boseman. Double in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 2. He's got that average up to 356. And that's a deep drive, but playable. In front of the warning track, Jimenez makes the catch to retire the side. After 4.5 innings of play, the Avengers lead 5-1. So I have a feeling we're going to go to Heidi Watney, but unfortunately there's something wrong with her microphone, so we're going to have to go back to the plate. Sorry, Heidi. We'll get a technician down there to check the mic. Bottom of the 5th, 4-run lead for the MCU. Leading off for the Giants, Gurriel Jr. Here comes the pitch. That's a deep drive to left. Back goes the Winter Soldier to the track. He makes the catch, 1 away. It's back to the wall. 1 pitch, 1 away. Next up, center fielder Shane Victorino, who's 0 for 1 with the ground out. Slider in there, strike 1.
0-1's the count.
Shane Victorino was an all-star. He was not a Hall of Famer. Fouls it off. Count is quickly 0 balls and 2 strikes. Pops it up, short left field. There is Anthony Mackie. Cut the check. There's 2 away. 2 down. The number 9 hitter, Shea Langoliers, steps to the plate. He's singled in the 3rd. He's 1 for 1. Base is empty. 2 outs here in the 5th. Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
0-1.
Out in front of the changeup. 2 quick strikes on Langoliers. Screw the knuckleball. See what happens with the knuckler. Oh! That ball's high and deep, and it's not coming back. That's a homer. For Shea Langoliers, he's 2 for 2. That's home run number 8 on the season, and the score is now Avengers leading 5-2. Both homers have been hit off of knuckleballs thrown by Scarlett Johansson. I think I'm not going to throw any more knuckleballs. Here's the replay. Bang. So 2 down, the lineup turns over for the Giants. Tony Gwynn is 0 for 2. He's 1 for 10 in this series. Fastball inside, ball 1. Tony's hitting 290. In real life, he'd probably be hitting 330. He's that kind of hitter. Line drive. Oh, past the center fielder. And he's going to go all the way to second base. Defense got a little confused on that. Outfielders thought that he was going to come up with it. Thought that Anthony Mack was going to come up with it. That was double number 22 on the season for Tony Gwynn. And up next is Chipper Jones, who's 0 for 2, but he has a runner in scoring position now. And a big fly, and this is a one-run ball game. Lines it foul, strike one. Suddenly, the stadium's starting to get a little excited. Ground ball up the middle and through. It is a base hit. And that's going to end up being an RBI single for Chipper Jones. And it's a two-run ball game. The MCU now leads 5-3 here in the bottom of the fifth. Next up, Jimmy Fox. He is the tying run. Big fly from Jimmy Fox, and this ball game is all tied up. Fastball misses outside, ball one. So this was a 5-0 lead for the MCU. It is now 5-3. Change up in there, strike one, count as 1 ball and 1 strike. 5-3 with the tying run at the plate. And I'm staying away from the knuckleball. Two-seam fastball inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Out in front of the slider, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 5-3 lead. Runner at first. Here comes the pitch to Fox. Hard ground ball, base hit through the right side. And the inning will continue. And now the tying runs are at first and second. And I think we need to get somebody up in the bullpen. Manager, bullpen. Let's get Sam Jackson warming up. And let's get Stan Lee warming up. Exactly. And let's manager go out to the mound and talk to Scarlett, calm her down. Up next is Cal Ripken Jr. He's 1 for 2, but he did hit a solo home run in the 4th inning. A home run here would give them the lead 6-5. And that ball is high and deep, but playable. On the warning track, Bucky Barnes makes the catch to retire the side, and the Avengers can breathe a sigh of relief. At the end of 5, it's an official ball game. The Avengers lead 5-3. So we go to the top of the 6th. Up steps Drax the Destroyer, who's 0 for 2. Nick Whitgren is still on the mound. Fastball inside, ball 1. Outlander says, "Wow, good way to get out of that." Let me tell you something. When he hit that ball, I thought it was a 6-5 game. I'll be completely honest. Ground ball, foul ball, count as 1 ball and 1 strike. That had me shaking in my boots, Mr. Outlander. That's a line drive, but playable. Nice catch by Tony Gwynn for the first out.
Now that number 16.
Whenever I get a lot of runs early in a game, I think it's going to be like 15 to nothing. Always ends up being a close game. Sebastian Stan steps up. Swings at the first pitch and skies it to right. It's deep but playable. Gwynn makes the second out. 2 quick outs for the Avengers here in the top of the 6th.
Now batting, number 10.
Don Cheadle, 1 for 2. He hit a solo homer in the 3rd. He's batting from the left side against the righty Whitgren. What a name. Checks his swing. That stadium is very nice to go to, says the Outlander who lives on the West Coast. Swing and a miss. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. That would definitely be on my bucket list to go to Oracle Park. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike to War Machine. I mean, it looks from photographs and from simulations, it just looks like a gorgeous ballpark. And he skies it to left. Easy play for Eloy Jimenez. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Nick Whitgren. And after 5.5, it's a 2-run lead for the Avengers. They lead 5-3. This is Avengers Baseball. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Brett Boone steps up to the plate. And you have to think that Black Widow is on a very short leash. She's still out there. Fastball in there, strike 1. So Brett Boone was one of these guys that in the 80s and early 90s would hit about 10 homers a year. And then all of a sudden, he went from 10 homers a year to 40 homers a year. I wonder how that happened. Anyway, remember it was the 1990s. So, count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Brett Boone. Swings and skies it to center. There is Don Cheadle. And there is one out.
Now batting.
Next up, Eloy Jimenez, 1 for 2 with a double. Nubber on to the mound. Off the mound is Scarlett. Close play. Makes the throw in time, 2 away. So Mr. Outlander won VP tickets, and he was in the press box with free food and drinks, and got to meet a few Giant players like Buster Posey and someone else. Nice. Nice. You're drawing a blank on the other guy. It doesn't matter. The fact that you met Buster Posey and you got in the VIP press box, that's pretty cool. 2 outs, bases empty for Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Outside corner, strike 1. So it's 5-3 MCU leads in this rubber match game. Each team has won 1 game in this 3-game series. So trying to get the getaway game, as tomorrow they fly off to either vacation, little short 3-day vacation. Some of the players will go to the All-Star game. That's a line drive down the left field line. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Rounding first and heading to second is Gurriel Jr. He'll have a 2-out double, and the tying run will come to the plate here in the bottom of the 6th. That's double number 20 for Gurriel. Here's the replay. So Shane Victorino's a switch hitter. I'm going to take a chance. Ground ball from his behind. Backhand, throws in time. Gorgeous play, cut the check. Anthony Mackie, the new Captain America, retires the side at the end of 3. Check that, at the end of 6 innings of play. It's the Hollywood Avengers 5, the San Francisco Giants 3. Taking over for Whitgren is Ryan Dull. He's 2-2 with a 6.44 earned run average. How do I only have 5 runs against this pitching staff? All their ERAs are terrible. So Anthony Mackie just made a great play. He's 1 for 3, and he leads off the top of the 7th. Here comes the pitch from Dull. And he pulls it foul, strike 1. And he yanks it into right field, takes an inside pitch and basically turns on it. It's a leadoff single for Anthony Mackie. Cut that check. For those of you that are wondering why I say cut the check for Anthony Mackie, you have to see some of the behind-the-scenes footage or some blooper reel footage from the Avenger movies. Whenever they have a successful take on a movie set, Anthony Mackie, that's a base hit, the 3rd hit of the game for Tom Holland. Spider-Man. First 2 runners, 2 hitters are on for the Avengers here in the top of the 7th. Anyway, as I was saying, anytime they have a successful take on the set, Anthony Mackie always says, cut the check. So whenever he does something good on Avengers Baseball, they cut the check. Slider in there, strike 1 to Chris Evans, who's 1 for 3 with a single today. Runners at first and second, nobody out. They already have a 5-3 lead. High, count as 1 ball and 1 strike. In the bullpen for the Giants, Ryan Brazier getting loose. Fouls off the changeup, count as 1 ball and 2 strikes on Evans. In the dirt, bounces away. They both go. Throw to second is not in time. Went for the trail runner. So on the wild pitch, there'll be 2 runners in scoring position now for Chris Evans with nobody out. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the hitter. Jams him. Upstairs, out of play. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mackie on 3rd. Holland on 2nd. Ground ball, base hit on the drawn-in infield. It'll be an RBI single, and runners at 1st and 3rd, and the MCU now leads 6-3. He can do this all day. That's Chris Evans, the original Captain America. So, still nobody out here in the top of the 7th. Mark Ruffalo walked today. He's 0 for 2, though. Pitch is high. Ball 1. Oh, yeah, says the Outlander. So, runners at first and third, nobody out. 6-3 lead. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Is this an intentional walk? Can they afford to do that? Don't forget, Ruffalo leads the team in runs batted in. Checked his swing, but found the corner. 2 balls, 1 strike. Holland's at third. Evans at first. Hitters count, 3 balls and 1 strike. On deck is Robert Downey Jr., who already has a grand slam home run today. Another ball, and he'll have a bases loaded situation. Can Robert Downey Jr. hit 2 grand slams today? I don't know, but we'll find out. The bases are now loaded again for Tony Stark. Tony Stark in this game already has a grand slam home run. And he'll have an opportunity to do what very few players have. 2 grand slams in 1 game. So check this. Will Smith comes in out of the bullpen. His record is 1-1 with a 6.84 earned run average. The bullpen has skyrocket ERAs. 3-run lead for the MCU. Robert Downey Jr. has a homer, a double, and 4 RBIs. He's 2 for 3. Left-handed pitcher Will Smith against the lefty. Let's see what happens. And he doesn't get the grand slam, but he gets an RBI single. 2 runs will score. It's a 2-run single for Robert Downey Jr. He has 6 RBIs today, and the MCU now leads 8-3. 6 runs batted in for Tony Stark. Leg kick, one-handed swing right up the middle. So it's runners at first and second for Chadwick Boseman, who's 1 for 3 with a double today. And that's a hard ground ball. Shovels second for 1. Back to first. A double play. So they get the double play. I'm sure they're happy about that. Runner moves to third. So 2 runs have already scored. No, check that. 3 runs have crossed the plate the same. Up next is Dave Bautista. He's 0 for 3. He'll need a hit to score that run from third with 2 outs. Let's see if he can do it. And that's a ground ball, base hit through the box. It's a 2-out RBI single for Drax the Destroyer. Can't get anything over his head, he'll catch it. And the MCU now leads by 6. It's 9-3. Clutch. So runner at first, 2 away. Sebastian Stan is 0 for 3, and the Outlander says this is getting out of hand, and you got that right. Down and in, ball 1. If I hit double digits in runs, I'm going to have to put in some backups. I mean, this is the game before the All-Star break. I don't want anyone to get injured. And he pops it up. Right side, playable for Jamie Foxx. And he retires the side, but not before 4 runs cross the plate. And after 6.5 innings of play, get up and stretch, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the 7th inning stretch. The Hollywood Avengers lead 9-3. Bottom of the 7th. Shea Langolier is 2 for 2 with a single and a homer. Homer was number 8 on the season. No reason to have the quick hook anymore with Scarlett Johansson. Let's see if she can get through the 7th. Save the bullpen. Why not? Then again, nothing to save the bullpen for, so if she gets into trouble, I'll take her out. Back through the box, it's a leadoff single for the Giants here in the bottom of the 7th. For Langoliers. Langoliers is 3 for 3. So the lineup turns over. Tony Gwynn is a left-handed hitter, so the manager's going to go to the bullpen. He's going to bring Samuel L. Jackson in the game.
Your attention, please.
Sam Jackson plays Nick Fury, the one-eyed Colonel. 4-6 on the season, 3.62 earned run average. Left-handed hitter against a left-handed pitcher. And that's a line drive. Racing back is Bautista. He will not make the catch. It goes over his head. They had to hold up, so it'll be runners at first and second. They thought there was a chance that he might catch it. So instead we have first and second now with nobody out for the Giants. Here's the replay. As you can see, Langoliers had to hold up between first and second. Plus he's a catcher, he doesn't have any speed. Next up, Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones is a switch hitter. He turns around and bats from the right side. Misses inside with the knuckler. Count is 1 ball and no strikes. Late on the fastball, out of play. Count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Chipper. Chipper, I think, had close to 500 homers, close to 3,000 hits. That looked like a strike, but was called a ball by the home plate umpire. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Ground ball, 4, 6, 3, double play. So they take the 2 outs. The runner will move to third base. So it's still a 6-run ball game. I'm sure they'll take that in exchange. Tom Holland makes an athletic play on the money to Anthony Mackie, who throws in time to Robert Downey Jr. at first base. Double play. Jimmy Fox steps up to the plate. He's 1 for 3 with a single. Runner at third, 2 away. Grounder up the first base line. It is a foul ball. Strike 1. Almost got himself a double down the line. Cut fastball inside, 1-1 on Jimmy Fox. Grounder to third. T'Challa throws to first to retire the side. 7 innings of baseball complete. It's a 6-run ball game. The Avengers lead 9-3. This is the MCU. I am RC Robbin. This is Avengers Baseball. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Next up, top of the 8th, Don Cheadle's 1 for 3 today. He has a solo homer. Switch hitter turns around and bats from the right side against Will Smith, the left-handed pitcher. Inside ball 1. Attendance at Oracle Park, 25,115. Not a sellout. Surprising. I think if the actors from the Marvel Cinematic Universe were to play a celebrity baseball game, I think that the house would be packed. I think that the Outlander would be in the VIP section. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike on James Rhodes. Outside 2-1. Swing and a miss. A little late on the fastball. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Cheadle. Strikes him out on the inside fastball. He didn't like the call, but when you're leading by 6 runs, you can't really complain. I'm sure he thought it was low and inside, but too close to take. Next up, Anthony Mackie hitting from the right side. He's 2 for 4 with 2 singles. Pulls it foul. Strike 1. So if the Avengers win this game, they will finish the first half of this season inside 1 ball and 1 strike. They'll finish the first half of this season with 65 wins at the All-Star break. They'll be 65-32. Fouls it off. Count as 1 ball and 2 strikes. They'll be 2.5 games in front of the Los Angeles Dodgers if the score stays the same. I have no idea who on the Avengers made the All-Star team. That'll be fun to look up. My next broadcast of Avengers Baseball will be a short one. It'll basically be the Home Run Derby. And I'm assuming that Mark Ruffalo, Incredible Hulk, will probably be in the Home Run Derby. But again, I haven't checked. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away, bases empty, top of the 8th, 9-3 lead for the MCU. Here comes the payoff pitch from Will Smith. No relation to the actor Will Smith. Struck him out. So 2 strikeouts in a row for Will Smith. Impressive. Next up, Tommy Holland, 3 for 3 with 3 singles and 2 runs. He's got that average up to 378 to lead the National League. Probably leads all of baseball. But this time, he shows that he is human. Skies out to Tony Gwynn to retire the side. So after 7.5, it's the Avengers 9, the Giants 3. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Cal Ripken Jr. is 1 for 3 with a solo homer back in the 4th. You know what? Manager is going to go to the bullpen. He's going to put Stan Lee in the game. Stan Lee's 5-2 with a 2.48 earned run average. Stan Lee Excelsior. Stan Lee, that's right. Even the announcer on the... Oh, to the mound. Stan Lee jumps off like a cat, throws to first, 1 away. Nice play by Stan the Man. Next up, Brett Boone, 0 for 3. Misses inside with the fastball. Count as 1 ball and no strikes. So I imagine Mark Ruffalo will be in the hard ground ball to third in the home run derby. There are 2 away. Again, I'll check. I'm only going to play. I have no idea the rules of the home run derby is a mystery to me, so I'm just going to follow the lead of the game. Eloy Jimenez up there in the bottom of the 8th. 2 outs, bases empty. 6-run lead for the Avengers. Here's the pitch from Stanley. Foul tip into the glove, strike 1. Then after that, I'm going to be the manager and play the game. Oh, that's a line drive headed down the right field line. It is a foul ball. 2 quick strikes on Jimenez. Count is 0-2. I'm going to play the All-Star game as if I am the manager of the National League All-Stars. Fouls it back. Count remains 0-2. That will be a game. Full game. I'm not going to leave the Avengers in. I'm going to play them 2 or 3 innings max. Swing and a miss. Strikes him out. Side retired. We go to the 9th, the top of the 9th. Avengers lead by 6. It's 9-3. So top of the 9th. Chris Evans is 2 for 4 with an RBI. His average is up to 320 on the season. Switch hitter in this versatile lineup turns around, hits from the right side against the lefty Will Smith. Will had a strong half inning. Swing and a miss, and it's continuing over the changeup. Strike 1 to Evans. Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike on Steve Rogers. I wonder if Steve Rogers is going to come back to the MCU, considering they're doing these parallel universes and alternate realities and timelines. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Like, if you've seen Loki, the TV show Loki on Disney Plus, is streaming Disney Plus.
3 balls, 1 strike.
Hitters count, 3 balls, 1 strike. You know that the timeline has been altered, so I wonder what they're going to do with the timeline. Will they bring back Captain America, Chris Evans? Ground ball off his foot, knocks it down, throws to first in time. If that hadn't hit his heel, that would have been through the box and into center field for a single, but instead there's 1 away. And he looks like he is hobbling. Maybe they need to take him out. Let's see. No, he waves off the trainer. He says, I'm good. So next up is Mark Ruffalo. He's 3 for 10 in this series with 3 RBIs, but today he's 0 for 2 with 2 walks. 1 out, bases empty, top of the 9th. Here comes the pitch. Inside, ball 1. And he's a little late on the pitch. Skies it to right center field. Victorino makes the running catch. There are 2 out. Robert Downey Jr. He's 6 for 13 in this series with 8 RBIs. 6 of those RBIs have come today. He's 3 for 4. Hell of a game for Tony Stark. He is Iron Man. Outside corner and low, but called the strike by the home plate umpire. He's a triple shy of the cycle. You never know. He's very slow in this game. So I don't know if he can get a triple.
Nope.
Down and in. Count evens 1 ball and 1 strike on Downey. Let's see what he does. Skies it to left. Left center field. The center fielder takes charge. Makes the catch to retire the side. Last licks for the I almost called them the New York Giants. How funny. For the San Francisco Giants. They need 6 runs to tie. We go to the bottom of the 9th. The Avengers lead 9-3. Thank you for watching. Leading off from the bottom of the 9th is Gurriel Jr. 1 for 3 with a double. Stan Lee is still out there. Screwball in there, strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 2 quick strikes on Gurriel. Stan Lee, Excelsior, looks kind of nasty on the mound. Strike 3, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Mr. Gurriel. Strikeout number 2 for Stan the Man.
The center fielder, number 8.
1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. Next up is Shane Victorino, the switch hitter, batting from the left side. He's 0 for 3 today. In there, strike 1. Line drive, base hit down the right field line. Caroms off the sidewall, throws to second. Bautista not in time. It is a 1-out double for Shane Victorino, and he's 1 for 4 today. Here's the replay. Here's a double all the way. So, before Langolier steps to the plate, let's go to the bullpen and let's warm up Paul Bettany and Jeremy Renner, just because for shits and giggles. Runner in scoring position with 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. Shane Langoliers is 3 for 3 with a homer, 2 singles. He is hitting only .239 on the season, but he's having a really good day.
At the ball.
Seeking fastball is low, ball 1.
Ball 1, no strike.
Can he get his 4th hit of the game? Let's see. No, he cannot. To the mound. Throws to first. There are 2 outs. The runner moves to third base with 2 outs. And the Giants are down to their final out of the game and of this 3-game series. Representing the final out of the game is Tony Gwynn, who's 2 for 4 with a single and a double today. And he pulls the screwball foul for strike 1. Just misses outside. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. And he pulls the pitch. This is possibly playable in the right field corner. He makes the catch, collides with the wall, but retires the side. Ball game over, 3-game series over. Avengers win 9-3. They take the final game before the All-Star break. They take 2 out of 3 on the road at Oracle Park in San Francisco. They win game number 65 of the first half. The win goes to Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow. She's now 5-2. Here is the scorecard for the game. The Hollywood Avengers, 9 runs, 13 hits, no errors. San Francisco, 3 runs, 11 hits, no errors. Again, Scarlett Johansson wins the game. She wins win number 5 on the season. Brian Abreu gets a loss. I have no idea how many wins and losses Brian has. And I'm not surprised that Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, is the player of the game. He's 3 for 5 with a grand slam home run and 6 RBIs on the game. He is your player of the game. And this has been a presentation of Avengers Baseball. We've reached the All-Star break. I am RC Robbin. Thank you for watching. This was game number 97. The next presentation will be the Home Run Derby. And then the presentation after that won't be game number 98. It will be the All-Star game itself, where I will be probably not just the gameplay, not just the play-by-play, but the manager of the National League All-Stars. Thank you for watching. Big thank you to the Outlander. Thank you also to Sir Dylan, who popped his head in earlier today, all the way from South Africa. I appreciate you guys. Anybody else who might have been watching in the background but didn't comment, thank you so much. I love you. I appreciate you. Please come watch my streams. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Outlander. Good job to you as well for being there for me. I really appreciate it. Since this was the last game of the season, instead of logging out, I'm going to exit the post game and stay online. I'm going to confirm the exit of the game. Only because since this is the actual All-Star break, I want to look at the stats for some of the players on this ball club. Just so that I'm kind of like recording where they were at the first half of the season. So as you can see from the screen, home run derby tomorrow, All-Star game, then 2 days off, and then they start a 3-game series at home against the Milwaukee Brewers. Okay, so there's Scarlett Johansson is 5-2 with a 3.59 earned run average. Abreu is 1-2 now. Okay, so we're gonna go over to the roster. Actually, not roster. Let's go to lineups. Anthony Mackie. So these are the stats for the starters here at the All-Star break. Anthony Mackie, 315, 13 homers, 53 RBIs. Tom Holland, a league-leading 377, 12 homers, 61 RBIs. Chris Evans, 319, 11 homers, 46 RBIs. Mark Ruffalo, leading the team in homers and RBIs at 340 average, 22 homers, 81 RBIs. Robert Downey Jr. had a big day. He's hitting 283 and finishes with 14 homers and 59 RBIs, thanks to 6 RBIs in that final game before the All-Star break. The late, great Chadwick Boseman, 354, 13 homers, 51 runs batted in. Dave Bautista, 321, 11 homers, 50 RBIs. Don Cheadle, the center fielder. You would think the Hulk would have more home runs. I think it's a byproduct of playing at Crosley Field. As the home ballpark for the Avengers, I picked a minor league ballpark called Crosley Field that has an insane dimensions. The right field corner is like 365 down the line, and it's got a huge scoreboard in left center field that I get doubles off of, but not home runs. So I have a feeling that that's part of the reason. In any event, Don Cheadle, the center fielder, war machine, 308, 10 homers, 52 RBIs. And I have a little bit of a platoon situation going on in left field. Left field, Sebastian Stan, who's the Winter Soldier, 286, 7 homers, 27 RBIs. And Idris Elba, 274, 7 homers, 36 RBIs. They're splitting time. So who knows what that's going to lead. Now I'm just going to go to the pitching rotation and just look at some of the stats. Chris Hemsworth, the ace of the staff, who will probably start the All-Star game, is 16-3 with a 2.51 earned run average. His brother Loki, Tom Hiddleston, 11-4, 4.63. ERA is a little high, but 11-4 is nothing to shake a stick at. He's got a good shot. I got a good shot at 20 wins. Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, 12-2 with a 3.53 earned run average. So Bradley Cooper, Rocket Raccoon, has had a terrible season, 6-8, 5.33 earned run average. And this starting spot has been held by 2 separate players. The season started with Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson, as the starter. He was pitching poorly. He got injured. I threw Black Widow in, and she pitched well, so I left her in. So far, she's 5-2 in the first half with a 3.59 earned run average, and I'm excited to see how many wins she gets by the end of the season. It would be nice to get 15 wins from her to get 10 in the second half, but that's a lot. Who knows? But it's easy to see if Hemsworth, Hiddleston, and Pratt with 16, 11, and 12. Let's see if I can get 3 guys who win 20 games. That's going to be my goal, my little mini goal. And Jeremy Renner, what's cool about Jeremy Renner is Jeremy Renner has 22 saves in the first half. He's blown 2 saves. So Jeremy Renner, 22 saves on the first half of the season. So let's get back over to here. Let's go back to the calendar. Here's league updates, the standings at the All-Star break. As you can see, the Avengers are in first place in the National League West. They are 65-32. They've won 7 of the last 10 games. They're in first place, 2.5 games over the second place Los Angeles Dodgers in the NL West. So there you have it, the first half of the season of the Avengers. I am RC Robbin. Thank you for joining me. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Have yourself a great afternoon.